wasn't sure truly what I was expecting from this, but I put it on to be really marvelled with its technical ability within the movie. I was shocked. The camera moves. There's certain scenes where the camera follows the town lady out of her building, down the street. A tracking shot that I just never expected to see in a silent movie, that I would have took for granted in a movie nowadays. But in that timescale, in this movie that came out in 1929, I was marvelling at it. The way they sort of merged shots where they had the couple, the country guy and the town lady lying in a swamp, and the sky turned into the city, bustling city, as they're watching it, was tremendous. It plays so much with these visual elements, really at the start. They've got trains cutting across one side of the screen and another one cuts across another side of the screen. They have a beach, but they have a boat on one side coming towards it. There's lots of visual elements to keep you interested in the actual story that's happening. Well, not the story, but the actual visual medium. You're interested to see what's going to come next. I'm sure there's like early prototypes of like green screen when the wife and the husband are walking down the street and cars are intercutting them, and then it appears into a woods. It feels like that's back projected, but then they cut some of the images out so they pass in front of them. I've no idea how they did it. I thought it was tremendous. I was really in on it. As for the storytelling, I was really interested in it. I liked the fact that it had flash forwards, it had flashbacks, it told the story in several ways that were interesting visually, and I wasn't expecting. And all these ticks kind of took my breath away. I really wasn't expecting it. It was marvel to see, and I really enjoyed it. But as much as it is interesting visually, it's hard to get a real feeling for something if the story's not there. And the story is kind of basic. The story is about a countryside, a vacationing town. This woman from the town, from the city, comes to the town and kind of catches the eye of a farmer and takes him away from his wife. And she comes out with the plot of killing the wife so that they can sell the farm and move to the city and enjoy their life together. And it's kind of put me on the back burner straight away, because I was like, I don't like this woman at all. And you know what? I don't think I like the guy either, because the two kind of nefarious people with bad plans, and this woman's working hard to provide, and they're just kind of taking her for granted. And they're going to get rid of her just for the sake of it. And the movie starts to build up this real tension. There's a moment when the man's thinking about doing the murder, and he sits up in bed and he's thinking about it. And there's these ghostly images of the city lady putting her arm around about him or kissing him, or when he turns away she appears a ghostly figure beneath him, always kind of cupping the space. I have no idea how they did this. I think it was a tremendous visual that really told the story that he felt under pressure to do this. It was on his mind, it was weighing him down. And when it gets to that boat trip, as he takes her out because he's going to drown her, I was at the edge of my seat. I didn't know what was going to happen. I was terrified for this woman. There's a chance where she could get out the boat and you think she's going to, and she doesn't, and you fear the worst, but things don't transpire that way. And it becomes a story of these two reconnecting their love through just having a day out, just enjoying things, just doing whatever the hell they want, spending the money, doing fun things that they never usually do, just having a day to themselves. And throughout this day, they reconnect, they fall back in love, and they're together again and happy. And I was captivated. I was in it with the couple. I was enjoying their adventure. I was enjoying watching them grow together and come back together and realise that they're really made for each other, and just they're ideal. I was there with them. And then as the movie gets to the end and they're on the boat trip home, I was terrified. I didn't know what was going to happen here. At first I thought the man was going to die, then I thought the woman was going to die, and when they fall into the water and the people are trying to save them, and you're like, what's going to happen? And you keep expecting it to wait to the last minute before he's going to discover his wife and save her. I was waiting. I was at, they're letting us just get a little bit worried here. They're going to find her soon. Please let her find her soon. And they don't, and I'm honestly, I was terrified. But we get an ending that is very satisfactory and really saved the movie for me. If this couple didn't end up together, if the wife didn't end up happy and just satisfied with everything, I would have been really angry. I really would have, because this movie put me through an emotional ringer. I was hurt and distasteful with the movie at the start. I grew happy and in love with the couple as they grew in love with each other. And then I was sort of torn asunder at the end when I thought one of them was gone. They're going to ruin this family union. This movie, for a lack of dialogue, which gets less throughout the movie with the board screens, really affected me. Really had me emotionally through the ringer. I loved it. I thought Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans was absolutely fantastic. And for me, easily, it's a 5 out of 5. It's a movie I already want to go back and revisit. Especially with that, the music throughout it as well, that just kept me even more interested. The visuals were terrific. The music just kind of gave the story the kind of oomph and the emotional push that it just needed to cut out the dialogue. I'm excited. I'm enthused. I'm ready to move on to the next one already. Medium. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Man vs. Film.